Hi, everyone. I'm Deb. I'm with Angel Competition Bikinis, and this is Angel Talk. I am the suit stylist and a brand director, and I've had the privilege of working with our fashion shows, our Angel fashion shows, and our road shows since 2019, I believe, or 2018 was the first one that we did together. So I'm going to introduce you to some of the models that have been in our shows or are going to be in our shows, because we have a really big show coming up at the Olympia this December in Las Vegas. The Olympia is the biggest stage in the world of bodybuilding. And yes, Angel Competition Bikinis and our fashion show has caught the attention of the promoters at the Olympia, and they have asked us to be a part of the show. So I'm going to let's start off with Katie over here. And Katie, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what your experience is with the Angel fashion show so far.
Okay, so I am from Las Vegas originally, but I live in Tennessee now. And I got into bodybuilding this year after I lost a lot of weight. And I met Deb at one of these forums they had, Whitney Weiser had, and fell in love with y'all and got my suit custom made, worked with her, and just like absolutely fell in love. And then so I got a second suit, and I was super excited about these fashion shows. Even actually connected with someone at not even met yet, but because of you, and I saw one of her suits on the fashion show, and so this will be my first show, and I'm super excited.
So Katie hasn't done a show yet, so she is joining us. So you've been watching us do them for a few years.
Yeah.
All right, I'll come back to you. Let's go to Tierney. Tierney over here. Yeah, she is. Tell us about your experience with the fashion show.
I'm from Mississippi, a small town called Florence. So I started my bodybuilding journey in 2021. And when I started searching for a suit, I'll kind of go back a little bit. So I did some competitions before bodybuilding. They were called tri-fit competitions. And so part of the competition, I actually had to wear a bikini, and it was grace and physique. So I've actually ordered from Angel since 2019, and I've ordered a swimsuit like every year. So I fell in love with the suits. And this past year, when I got ready to shop and buy a suit, I actually met Deb. She was my suit consultant, and like the suit was amazing. But I started competing this past summer, and I competed in two shows, and I'm actually nationally qualified. So I'm headed to nationals next year. But along this whole journey of meeting Deb and being a customer of Angel, I got the opportunity to be in the fashion show back in September in San Antonio, and it was a blast. And then actually I'm going to be a part of the Olympia in December in Vegas. I'm actually not going to model suits just because we know as bodybuilders, I'm in a building phase, and I don't feel like I'm going to be as confident in December, but I'm actually going to come as an ambassador and promote and wear active wear.
That is so awesome. And I'm so glad that we created that role, because like you, we have models that have just done the fashion show and, for whatever reason, aren't ready to go right back into another one. And so I'm glad we have those roles, because just like you said, since 2019 or 2018, you have been a loyal customer. And so to be able to have you as a representative of our brand is so special. Kelly, it's your turn. Let's talk about what your experience has been.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelly Thompson. I'm in Fishers, Indiana, and I too am, and I can't get it out, NPC athlete. I have competed twice. I absolutely adore and love my Angel competition suit. I got so many compliments from the other girls in both of my competitions, asking what exactly the color was and what the rhinestones were. I'm an Angel ambassador, and so I received the invite email. I was fairly new to everything, so I was very excited to learn that there was a fashion show, and participated in the first Take It on the Road show in San Antonio. And that's where I met Deb. She was my leader of the group, and I just had the best time. Yeah, loved it.
I had the best time as well. I was the squad captain for the group that Kelly was in. And that's one of the things that we have started doing as of this year is creating squads. It's kind of along the lines of big sister, little sister. So the squad captain is somebody that has done the fashion show before, kind of knows the ropes. And then they have squad members that may or may not have walked before. And I know when I did my very first show, I didn't know anybody. I mean, I wasn't on a team. I didn't know anybody in bodybuilding. I bought my suit from Angel, and somehow I think on social media saw this fashion show thing. And I'm like, well, I like a stage. I like to dress up. So I was nervous because I'm an introvert. So going into this group of, confident, beautifully fit women with no friends by my side was very daunting. But as you well know, the women were so warm and welcoming. And speaking to Tierney's comment about, building season, I completely 100% understand. I'm in that same place myself. The beautiful thing that we want all models and all of you that might be thinking about joining us in a future fashion show is that you don't have to be stage ready to join us in our fashion shows. The fashion shows are here to celebrate fit, confident, beautiful, strong women from all divisions of the sport of bodybuilding and in any stage of your journey, because prep life goes on 365 days a year. And part of prep life is building life and improvement season and things like that. So yeah, I understand what you're saying for sure. Rachel, I've saved you for last because Rachel, like myself, has participated in almost all of the fashion shows. We were just talking beforehand, all but the very, very first one. So I'm going to let Rachel tell you a little bit more about her experience with Angel and the fashion shows.
So Rachel and I started competing in 2018. Sounds like it's kind of a similar date to a lot of people, but I was a firefighter and had always been working out, and somebody at the gym mentioned a bodybuilding show. And so I went to one and decided I wanted to try it. So I ended up getting my first suit from Angel Competition Bikinis. And I just their suits. I love everyone that works there. And I didn't much about that in 2018, but when I saw the opportunity to apply for 2019, I jumped on it and got accepted. And then I was hooked. And I don't want to miss one. So I'm afraid that I would have a FOMO if I didn't. So I did the 2020, the COVID photo shoot, and then 20, and then the 2 this year. So
yeah,
technically kind of 5, without one being an actual show. But
would that be 3 this year, Rachel?
This will be 3 if we, for the Olympia.
We had March. We had San Antonio and we have Olympia. So 3 in 1 year for this girl here. What about that? That's crazy. Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
Rachel,
I'm
Rachel has become such a beloved face at our company. She helps us so much with the fashion show. She's kind of like our social media model liaison and helps make sure that we get social media posts up for the Angel Fashion Show Instagram. She's like the models all just like gravitate towards Rachel. Also, she was promoted to be a sponsored athlete earlier this year. So she has been a rock star ambassador. So Kelly and Tierney and Katie, all of you that are currently Angel ambassadors, Rachel here is living proof that we do have a promotion process. So, you start as an Angel ambassador and work your way up to become a sponsored athlete. Thank you. So I want to ask you, so those of you that have participated, you can just, raise your hand and speak, but what was your very favorite thing about doing the fashion show? Go ahead, Kelly.
I have a couple of them.
I have to say,
Oh, Kelly, go ahead, Kelly.
Okay. As you mentioned, Deb, I had a very similar experience coming to the fashion show. I didn't know anyone, came all by myself, traveled to San Antonio by myself. And of course, my favorite I love the stage. I love the costumes, but honestly, it was the camaraderie and meeting fellow women that had an interest. As you all probably agree, it's really hard to find your people because others don't live the lifestyle that we live. And it felt amazing to be surrounded by so many confident and ambitious women that had a supportive and positive environment. Didn't come across one person that I wouldn't love to hang out with and go to lunch with right now. It was amazing getting that opportunity. I also really enjoyed the breakout sessions. I wanted to give a shout out to Joey because I loved her makeup session as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's something we do with the fashion shows. We always have some kind of an expo beforehand where we offer up different workshops. You know, this last one we had a makeup tutorials with Makeup by Joy. We had posing sessions. We did a mock NPC show, and Adam Bonilla gave out a pretty cool prize for that one. We always have, like, we had the shoe fairy Alexa. She came in to talk about, you know, confidence and, you know, being safe and secure in your own mind and body. We've had Celeste Rains Turk from the Confessions of the Bikini Pro podcast come and do some talking. So we have lots of opportunities for the models to mix and mingle and meet some of the other people in the industry. Excuse me. And I will say, Kelly, that I loved the squad. I mean, Kelly and I, we hung out a lot. I mean, seriously, I mean, we're texting each other in our little group, and we got to go on the river walk, and you just made that whole experience just like one of the best times for me. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. You were like a big sister to me. She never like, it was amazing. I didn't know what to do or where to go. And Deb was always so welcoming, saying, come with me, come on, this is what we're doing. We're all going to go do this. And yeah, so Katie, right, it's going to be your first time. You're going to meet so many amazing women and just leave and want to do it again and again. I'm sure everyone can attest to that it's so uplifting.
Mhm.
Katie, since you're coming into this, I'm coming back to you, Rachel, because I know you had something to say too. Katie, since you're coming into this kind of on the newer side, is there anything in particular that you're nervous about?
Not necessarily, just more like not getting lost, because I know this is going to be like a big week and there's going to be like a lot of moving parts, a lot of people, a lot of things going on. So I think just not
and Vegas is a big city too. Yeah. So the good thing about that is we do have the squads. And so, as I said, and we have a special Facebook group just for all of the participants of this show. And I just said in there today, you know, make sure you stay in touch with your squad captain, make sure they know where you're at, when you're supposed to be, where you're at. You know, if you get lost, they're the ones to talk to. You know, they're the ones that are going to miss you. So don't, there's going to be 150 models in this Olympia show. You're not going to ever feel like you're just a number, because you're definitely, your squad captain for one is going to always be like, okay, where's Katie? Is Katie here? Is Katie okay? So we're going to make sure that every single model has a very personal experience. Rachel, you were going to say something when I asked about some of your favorite experiences with the fashion show.
But I think it was what Kelly said was one of the big things was the people. I mean, not only the company, but everyone's gravitated toward the just such like-minded people. And the other thing that I've always been a fashion show model, Victoria's Secret, and all that stuff. And I thought I was too old to even consider something like that. But it is just so much fun to be able to get on that stage and kind of strut your stuff and not be judged, and to just have fun. And you're just, it's an amazing experience. So.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, that was really choppy, but I think we got the message there.
That's it.
And Tierney, how about you? What's your favorite experience?
I'm kind of right along with the other ladies. They've already spoken about just the connections that they've made with the other women. Like, I came not really knowing anybody as well besides Deb and a few ladies from the company, but I met one particular girl at the hotel at check-ins, and we like bonded instantly. And so we had gym time together, and we just got ready together and hung out, and then we've connected. And so we've stayed connected on social media, and we plan to eventually like meet up. I think she lives in Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania right now. And she just did a show. So we follow along with each other's journey and what's going on in our life. So I've really enjoyed the friendships that I've made along the way.
I was going to ask you, so a lot of the time we do a post-show survey, and the models, we always ask them, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun do you have at a competition? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun do you have at the fashion show? And the enjoyment level is always higher at the fashion show. And that's really what we want. We want to give athletes a chance to have fun on stage and just let their personality shine, because when you're in a competition, it's a competition, and you do have to present, you have to, hit certain poses, and you have to walk a certain way and look a certain way. But in the fashion show, we actually don't want you to get up there and strike a front pose and a back pose. We want you to, sway and swing and shake your shoulders and have lots of fun and show your personality. So Kelly, when you think about, like, what would be your recommendation to somebody, like your biggest tip? This is something that going into the fashion show, you should know this.
Going in, you should know this. Oh, that's a great question, Deb. Okay. I'm going to just say what I kind of say almost with anything. Go in with the biggest open heart and open mind, and try to experience everything that there is to offer. That everyone was so wonderful company wise, as nothing is enforced as far as you need to come to all these workshops and you need to come to all of this. It's a huge welcoming invite and encourage. And I just encourage you to make the most of it. You are there to make connections and to have new experiences. So take advantage of all of it. And, just if I'm kind of a person that can be a little shy, so was definitely out of my comfort zone with that. But I just told myself, you know what? I traveled this far, and I am just going to have fun and let go. And yeah, so do that. Keep an open mind and experience everything that you can. Take advantage of the whole weekend.
I want to ask you guys. Okay, so my very first show, Ashley Cotwasser was in the show, and I didn't know who she was. That was how fresh off the turnip truck I was. I was like, I don't know, there's this girl here. And now I know Adam Bonilla was there with her, but I kind of thought he was like part of her entourage. Sorry, Adam. So like, I didn't know, and now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh. So how does it feel, or how did it feel to just rub elbows and mix and mingle with the pros, other Olympians, and just top athletes in this industry that were just mixing and mingling along with everybody else? How did that feel? Tierney?
I've got something I can say. So, obviously after this experience, I stayed really connected with Angel on IG, and recently, so some of the pros, and I'm sure some of y'all, so I'm a wellness chick. So Marissa is a sponsored athlete with Angel. And so I follow her.
Yes.
Marissa Andrews. Yes. And so I'm a big fan of her. And so for the last year, I've just followed her journey and watched her, and like getting to come to Olympia and actually watch her compete. It's going to be amazing. But the other night I was at the gym doing my cardio. It's kind of bored, but one of her lives popped up. So I got on, and her and I connected, and she was like, I want you to come and meet me after the fashion show. I'm going to have a table set up and I'm going to be there. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I get to actually meet a pro competitor that I've like followed her journey and supported her and cheered her on this whole year. And I actually get to meet her in person. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I was just going to say, I just love how they were all down to earth for their achievements and who they are and what they do. They're just all so incredibly sweet and humble, and are, they're just hanging out with the rest of the girls. And I loved that. That despite like who they are, and if you could possibly be starstruck by their accomplishments, they're just like, hey, I'm here having fun just like everybody else. So
well, and so Katie,
very sweet women.
Katie, who are you looking forward to meeting?
Marissa's definitely one of them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and Katie, your wellness too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and Casey, yeah. So Marissa Andrews, we got Casey DeLong and Marissa and Mallory Anderson. Oh, I just did a podcast with Casey DeLong and Mallory Anderson, and you guys got to listen to it. I mean, they're two wellness athletes. They are both Olympians. They're both moms. They're incredible. I can't wait for you to listen to that one. Rachel, you've mixed and mingled with all of them. So, I mean, do you still get a little tongue tied or or are these just like my girls? These are just my girls.
I think a little bit. I think it's just the kind of nature of like just appreciating what they've gone through to get there and the just how much work it takes. But I think that the neat thing is that they set such a great example of just getting out on stage and having fun and just making the most of the opportunity. I think like it's so easy to get caught up in this like competition mode where you get nervous and you feel like you have to do it perfectly and do a certain thing instead of just having fun and being there. And they really show that, like, and so I've learned a lot from them.
And they are so, I mean, I got to share a house with several of them on the Texas Roadshow, and oh my gosh, just getting up and having coffee and breakfast with, Hannah Rand friends and Lauren Dannemiller. And it's like, yeah, they're just one of the girls, and we talk shop, we talk this and that. And it's almost like when I look back at that 2019 me at that very first Angel fashion show, I just can't believe how much I've evolved in the sport, how much the sport's evolved, and how we've all come together. I mean, now it's like I go to a fashion show and there's so many friendly faces. I'm sure, Rachel, you feel the same because you've been in so many. Kelly and Tierney and Katie, if you do another one, I mean, even if you don't, you'll be backstage at competitions and you'll see girls that you did the show with, and they'll be your friends. And it'll feel like no longer is this such a solo sport, but this is definitely a community of women that are all around the world.
Yeah. And I have to say too about the squads, Deb, I just recently connected like within the past day with my squad, and I already love them all. Like they've been introducing themselves, and it's like, no matter what they say, like you can connect with like something about them. Like they love dogs and have dogs, or they're a grandma, or they, whatever the case may be. And so it's like, you can connect with them in some way and just kind of forming that relationship. But it's neat to have the squads now. I think it really helps to kind of bring you into it more than like in the beginning when we did it.
Yeah.
It was a little overwhelming with how many people there were, and it's such a short amount of time when you really take it in. And so to have those designated people that that you're going to get to know ahead of time, and you're going to see them, and it's just, I think it was a great idea.
Well, I don't want to keep you guys any longer because we're about up on our time, but thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. I am so excited to see Katie and Rachel in just a few weeks. We're already on the weeks countdown. And Kelly, I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. And Tierney, you're like my BFF. We didn't get to hang out a lot in Texas, but it was just like we did. And we're just like texting and having fun. So this is Angel Talk. You can find this on our Angel Competition Bikinis YouTube channel. You can also find this on all of the podcast mechanisms. And we hope to see you guys in Vegas, or be sure to stay tuned because we will announce in Vegas what our next fashion show is going to be. And I'm telling you, it's a big one. It's another big one. So have a nice night, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thanks.
Thanks, ladies. I'm going to stop the recording. Hold on a second. Stop recording. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, we already lost people. Okay.
Turning it up.
I was going to take a screenshot. Everybody left.
Oh no.